Hello. I am doing something different today. I haven't posted a podcast in a really long time, so that is something different. And also, I am recording the video of me speaking and talking and saying things in this podcast. So, for those of you who may be listening on Google Podcasts or Spotify, you can also go to YouTube and see my face as I speak these words, if you want. I kind of wanted to give a life update of where I've been at very recently. There's so much movement going on and a lot of releasing. It's really rainy weather today, so that's another sign of the universe releasing things that may no longer serve. And I've been trying to embrace the uncomfortableness. I think that being okay with being uncomfortable is really important. And doing things that I'm afraid of and conquering those fears is really important. So I've been trying to do more of that. I actually bought a bike recently. I haven't had a bicycle maybe for at least 6 years. And it's been really wonderful. I feel like I have even more freedom on my bike and just being able to explore my neighborhood more. You know, I'm very fortunate, but specifically in my area, it's not as busy, so I'd say it's pretty safe to ride my bike. And another fear that I have been trying to conquer is riding my bike on the street, because I've been, I hear about people getting into bike accidents or getting, I've been leaning into the fear more so, but trying to stay away from that and recreate a new pathway that it's safe to ride my bike. Actually, the day that I got my bike, I was having a really, really rough day. And actually, that was the day that I was really leaning into feeling uncomfortable. And usually, I will try to do things to avoid feeling that way. Like doing things that fill my cup, which is totally cool. Like meditating, journaling, reading, dancing, singing, things that just make me feel happy and feel good. But instead, I decided to just feel the uncomfortableness and just surrender and let it take over me. And it was one of the more difficult days I've had in a really long time. And it will make more sense as I go more into this story. But I was having a really, really tough day that day. And Cameron came home from work early. It was one of those days that he got to leave early. And he drove me to pick up the bike. And I bought this bike for $60 off of Facebook Marketplace. And I didn't really want to talk very much to anybody because when I'm feeling low like that and low vibrations and just having a crappy day, I try to hide myself. I try to hermit and hide away so that I don't affect anybody else with my mood. I don't want to take it out on anybody else because I understand the effects of what that can do. And, you know, again, everything is totally cool. So if you or someone else finds themselves taking their frustrations out on others, it's completely meant to be, and it's okay. I honestly did it last night. So as much as I try to be a certain way, I also try to make everything in every way okay. So I really didn't want to talk. And another thing I want to say is I feel like I know what I want, but I usually don't. And the universe knows what's best for me. So we go, and it's this older gentleman, and Cameron and I are pretty good listeners. And I think that people tend to speak more and share more with us because there's a lot of space to share. So I think he felt that, and he was sharing a lot. And I was having this terrible day, and I was like, this bike is gonna make me feel better if I get it today. So we go there, and I'm not really looking forward to it, but this guy that's selling me the bike is really freaking nice and has this beautiful big fluffy dog that we're petting. Her name was Dolly, and we were talking, and he was sharing stories, maybe feeling nostalgic, and he asked us if we wanted to see his horses, because he had 2 horses. And that's another fear that I personally have been trying to work through, is horses. And it probably sounds a little silly, but I wasn't around horses ever. This could have been the first time that I've seen horses up close and actually touched one. Because horses are ginormous. They're these huge creatures, and I've seen people get hurt by horses and thrown off of horses and kicked by horses, and overall was seeing horses as more of a scary thing than a blessing. But I've been trying to really open my mind, so I was like, okay, yeah, let's go see the horses. And I think there were two horses, 2 female horses. I don't remember the big horse's name, but a big horse in her stall. And she had a friend, a little companion named Ramona, who was not a baby horse, a mini horse. And they were so special and so friendly and so sweet, and they had the biggest brown eyes, and like just looking at them made me cry. Made me cry so hard because I was having such a tough day, and sometimes when I feel like I'm having a tough day, I think that it's gonna last for fucking ever, and it'll never get good again, and the sun will never come out again. Then I see these horses, and I'm talking to this gentleman who is so nice, and he's saying, you know, you can come by and see the horses as often as you want. And this complete stranger that I met on Facebook Marketplace is showing us so much kindness and letting us meet his beautiful horses. And it was such a miracle for me, and really helped me get out of my slump, petting these horses and talking to this gentleman. and seeing their little dog, Dolly. And our plan right after this was to go to Ultimate Frisbee. On Wednesdays, there is a group of wonderful friends that gets together and we play Ultimate Frisbee in Connecticut. It's a very fun, low-key thing. People get competitive, but not too serious. It's very fun. And you don't even realize it's exercise because you're just having a good time with a frisbee. I mean, who knew how much joy one frisbee could provide, you know? So I originally was like, I'm not gonna go to Ultimate because I don't want to bring anybody else down, you know? Because I try to hide when I'm feeling those low vibes. But I was feeling a pick-me-up after seeing those horses, and I was like, you know what? I think it's gonna be good for me to go and play and get my adrenaline and my blood pumping and the dopamine and all the hormones in my brain. And I had a little bit of a cry in the car right before we were playing, needing to release those emotions, and Cameron went up to the field while I cried in the car for a little bit, and that's cool. And then I got out of the car and so many more miracles happened. So I go up. There are so many friends at this game. We usually have maybe 10 to 12 friends, and that's still a lot. But we had maybe 15 or 16 people on the field. And there was the cutest little dog that one of my friends was there, and I've only seen her one other time, so this was the second time that I saw her. She's the most adorable little chihuahua who is just the sweetest little thing. So I saw her, and then I see two friends that I haven't seen in, well, one of them I haven't seen in years, and the other maybe a year. And it was so awesome to see them. Such a surprise. And, you know, some of my best friends were there. And, okay, seriously, you're not going to believe this one. We were playing on this soccer field that's at this park in one of the towns that's like 30 minutes away. And there's a lot of people that come there because there's a baseball field, so a lot of the maybe elementary to middle school age boys are playing baseball. There's several soccer fields, so there's a lot of kids playing soccer. And I look up, and there's 2 llamas. These owners are just walking their llamas around the field. And I'm like, holy shit. That's fucking nuts. I would never have guessed that there were gonna be llamas here. So, just all of these miracles kept happening. And then one of my friends that I hadn't seen in a while, one of the 2 friends, came up to me and said, you know, your videos have been really helping me. And, you know, I'm having this horrible, horrible day. And I am showing up and seeing all of these miracles. And then this person tells me that they appreciate what I'm doing. And it's so, so, so special. And I probably had the best time of my life at Ultimate Frisbee. Just having fun. Sometimes I'll be serious and I'll really want to win. By the way, I think I won all of the games. At least it felt like it. if anything. But it was seriously so fun. I have a really loud mouth, and I feel like I bring a lot of enthusiasm to the team, so I cheer a lot, and I yell a lot, and I scream, and I just do whatever the fuck I want. It's very fun. Release a lot of energy, run around, and just having a great time and great camaraderie and teamwork with these friends that I get to see every week. And my day completely turned around, and I had the best time. I played the best, like, it was the best ultimate frisbee session I've had, and that was last week, I think. And it was wonderful. And after that, Cameron and I think we got some sandwiches at Subway, and then we came home and smoked and ate our sandwiches, and it was wonderful. And usually Cameron meets me at the field because he usually comes from work, but this time he was able to drive with me there and drive with me back, which was really nice. And I think, so a little backstory, I haven't had my period in 4 months. And no, I was not pregnant. I went on a vacation, if you remember, back in March, and I think I was supposed to get it around the time I was on vacation. But I was with a couple of friends who were vegans, and I was trying to change up my diet, and my lifestyle was very different. I'm usually here in the apartment every single day with Cameron, and all of a sudden I am with unfamiliar faces 24/7 in a completely different and foreign environment. And I think that had a lot. It took a toll on my body, and my body was kind of like, what the fuck is happening? And I hadn't had my period. So the day before, or that day when I was having the crappiest day, right? And I was leaning into that uncomfortableness, I think the day after, I got my period. And it made so much sense. You know? I mean, my hormones are completely, like, up and down. And probably even more so than usual because I haven't had my period in months. And if you're uncomfortable with period talk, I highly encourage you to keep listening, because periods are completely natural and you would not exist without them. But it made so much sense, you know, why I was feeling so uncomfortable and why probably my hormones were just going crazy in my brain, and I was just having such a terrible time. And I think one of my friends told me that the reason why that humans and women get sad when we get our period is because we are, without even consciously really knowing, we're grieving the possibility of having that baby. So I think that's a huge reason why I was feeling so low. Even though mentally, like, I don't want to have a baby right now. I want to have babies, but now's not really the right time for me. So it wasn't grievance for me in my awareness, but my body and the way that it works, and, you know, the hormones were just leaning that way. And that's not to say that men don't experience hormones and hormone imbalances as well. Just because women have periods doesn't mean we're the only ones who fluctuate. And yeah, it just made so much sense why I was feeling that way. And, you know, all of these months of build up and, like, sorry if that's graphic. All these months of building up from this blockage that I was having internally and then it's all just being released. And that's where I am in the stage of life right now, is I'm just releasing and letting it flow. Also, another miracle, I literally smudged my entire house the day after Frisbee. I smudged my entire house. I even smudged my drawers. I smudged every single drawer in my house, every cabinet, every closet. And as soon as I fucking smudged and I cleansed and cleared my house, that is exactly when I got my period. It was fucking crazy. So the miracles happen. Even if you are currently feeling down in the dumps, it will make sense. And the up and up is coming. And, you know, I'm mostly recording this to remind myself because I forget so much. And that's okay. But when the tough times are happening, it's usually the universe prepping you for the best times of your life. Because we can't appreciate the good times without the bad times. So that was a lot of what I was experiencing last week, and releasing a lot and moving through blockages in myself and in my environment. And it's really quite magical. It's crazy. But I kind of wanted to talk about that and where I've been and how I'm doing. I'm doing a lot better. I'm getting over my period now and having more energy and just doing things for Lizzie that are good for her and make her feel good. And I am so grateful. I have the best job in the world, which is that my job is to take care of myself. And I'm looking at my kitty right now, and he's in his little hammock. It's adorable. And just being very grateful for my apartment and how the apartment has protected me and kept me safe and helped me express myself and be myself, and just helps me do everything that I want to do. Thank you so much for listening to this. Thank you so much for being yourself. Thank you so much for being so brave to continue on your path, because being a human is not always the easiest thing in the world. And I don't think that we talk about the challenges enough. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other people have been working through similar things and releasing blockages, and there's a lot of movement going on right now. And if it doesn't make sense now, it will in the future. And your future self is going to thank you for going and doing all the things that you're doing, because you are a resilient, strong mother freaking person. And you're doing so much better than you think you are. I'm doing so much better than I think I am. And the sun will come out. It will. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being yourself. Thank you for watching if you're on the YouTubes. And I'll talk to you later.